How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour, streaming through Spreaker Studio and the A2 Jack YouTube channel. I'm back with Aleeyah and Kasey, and we were just talking about where do you see yourself in 5 years. I had Aleeyah give me her answer, and I'll go ahead and ask you here, Kasey. Where do you see yourself 5 years? What do you see yourself doing? Just anything in general. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, right now I'm still in that space of mind where I'm trying to figure out what I want to be and what I want to do as a career. I've been in and out of it for a while, but something that stuck with me is film. So I'm hoping that maybe 5 years from now I could have my own little film thing and make videos for people, because that's what I did in high school. I did broadcasting, actually. I was the anchor for like the school news, so I would like give the announcements for the week. So I've been kind of in and out of like figuring out if that's something that I want to continue, because it's something I really enjoyed. But I definitely kind of like what Aleeyah said. I definitely just want to be happy and content with my life. Like, I'm not too big on material things and having certain things at a certain time. All I really care about is that I'm happy and that, you know, I'm content with whatever's going on. I definitely want to be living somewhere else, not Sacramento. I've been wanting to get out of here for a while. You know, with Michael, move out somewhere that's different, you know, and have like a different environment, you know, meet new people. And I don't know, just content and happy is mostly what I want to be, you know, 5 years, 10 years, you know, 20 years from now. I'm just kind of going with the flow of everything.
Nice. I like that. And obviously, you know, good luck with the job you got right now, and, you know, hopefully that continues well for you going forward. In terms of where I see myself in 5 years, it's really funny because I know where I see myself in probably about a year to a year and a half, and after that, I don't. So that's funny. You know, I have a couple ideas in mind what I want to do when I get out of high school, and I think I might have mentioned this last week on the show. A is I could probably, since I've written for them for about 3 to 4 years now, there's a good chance, I feel anyways, that I could get on a chair to be a sports editor for the Lincoln News Messenger, as I have a lot of experience for doing that already. Only thing is, as much as I love all of my friends in this town, and as much as I love this town as it being my home for all of my life, there's a part of me that also wants to kind of travel around the world a little bit, and also, you know, obviously if I want to become a homeowner sometime anytime soon, California, unfortunately, is not the best place to do that right now with how good the market is or where the market is at, and that is why there's a part of me that kind of wants to get a sports broadcaster job, or kind of something like that, somewhere up in like Washington. That way it's still close to the ocean, still close to the coast, but also the cost of living up there is not as bad as California, and there's no income tax there as well, so that's something that's very nice. So there's a part of me that's kind of like that. So where I see myself in 5 years would probably be one of those two areas. That's where I'm at least right now, I think. But yeah, California, unfortunately, not the best place if you're trying to get your own home, which is why you see a lot of young people that rent or share homes with people. I'd say it's probably about 50-50 when it comes to that. The young people probably more on the renter side of things, and it's just too darn expensive, and that's the one reason why a lot of Californians are leaving, and why I would consider that as an option, unfortunately. But that's where I'm at right now, and hopefully, you know, college finishes out well and everything goes well going forward. So that's my thought on that. And with that being... Sorry, go ahead.
I like it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the support. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here, and when we come back, we got two.
Break.
Yeah, well, we haven't played a song yet, Michael. We're going to play a song for the folks listening. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about aliens, Area 51 kind of thing on that realm, and then we're also going to talk about possible in the future of life on Mars, and if that should be the case, our thoughts are on all of that, and we will conclude this podcast. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This is When I Come Around by Green Day. We'll be right back.
Boop, 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 boop.
Crying loud all the way across town. You've been searching for that someone, and it's me out of the crowd. As you sit around feeling sorry.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour. That was When I Come Around by Green Day. Green Day just put out a new single. Unfortunately, I am not a huge fan of it. They will be playing with Weezer and Fall Out Boy at Oracle Park in San Fran next summer. It, on paper, to me, looked like a really great concert, and then I heard all of the new stuff that came out from those bands, and unfortunately, I was disappointed. I am happy, though. I will be going to another concert towards the end of this year in November. I'll be going and seeing 21 Pilots with my good friends Jake and Chris, which will be really looking forward to that, even though I wasn't happy with the money I spent on it because it was pretty expensive. I figured, why not, because I haven't been to a concert in a while, and I'm looking really forward to it. So that'll be cool. But nonetheless, we are back here with Aleeyah and Kasey, and there was a couple other issues that I wanted to actually talk about before we end this podcast. And as I did mention earlier on the show, we will be doing another podcast next week where me and another guest will be discussing very big issues going on in the country right now and issues in the sports world. So just be prepared for that. It will be likely next Thursday as well. If I do not go to San Francisco that day, which is a possibility since it's right before my birthday. So not 100% sure yet, but I will be figuring that out. Anyways, the first issue I wanted to actually go over, obviously, the whole Area 51 event just happened. It was actually a week ago. Michael, I know you made reference to it on the show, or maybe it was Ricky, saying, oh, we got to, end the show and go down there because it was the very next morning. And so this is actually a first-hand story. It's in The Guardian. The headline is, I quote, stormed Area 51, and it was even weirder than I imagined. Really weird signs that I saw on TV, and this is the first-hand story. In the middle of the Nevadan desert outside a secretive U.S. military airstrip, I found the world's strangest social media convention. Dozens of young, good-looking, often consumed people were running around filming each other with semi-professional video rigs. They were YouTuber and Instagram stars, or more often, aspiring stars, here to storm Area 51 for the benefit of their followers and, quote, free the aliens held captive within, or at least film themselves talking about it. Joining them was a ragged army of hundreds of stoners, UFO buffs, punk bands, rubberneckers, European tourists, people with way too much time on their hands, and meme lords and Pepe the Frog costumes, all here because of the internet, the ironic and the earnest alike for a party at the end of the earth. So, obviously, anybody who knows anything about the whole Area 51 thing knows that there were millions of people that signed up that were interested or said they were going to that event, when in reality a lot of them were joking. There still did end up being a fair amount of people, though, that did end up showing up last Friday. And, it's most of it is just for memes and jokes and laughs. There is a bigger issue at hand, and that is the issue of, is alien life truly out there, and is it real, and does it exist? And I think that's a very interesting philosophy issue to kind of talk about, and so I'll go ahead and get your guys' thoughts on it. Whoever wants to start, do you feel that alien life exists? And if so, do you feel they've already visited Earth or are here?
Aliens is a very weird topic for me because it's something that the more I think about it, the more weirded out I get. So I usually try not to think about it. I try not to really think about it. But I mean, I guess it makes sense. I don't know if I believe in literal beings coming over here, but I do believe, I'm sure there's some type of not bacteria necessarily, but living things that could form on other planets. But also, isn't it? Didn't they say I don't think there's humans. Well, obviously not. Or alien type things on other planets, because I know that there's something about science saying that Earth is the perfect distance from the sun and the moon, and so living things can prosper. Mm-hmm. So I don't really know if there's aliens. I think it's a cool concept, but I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. Weird.
Kasey, what about you?
Yeah, same here. I've never really believed in aliens growing up. I mean, I've had a lot of friends that they believe that they're real. They think it would be silly not to consider, how big our universe is, that there could, not be, other living lives out there. But personally for me, kind of like Aleeyah, I can't really see, other species from, another world coming here and, visiting us. I mean, I could definitely believe there's a possibility that there's another planet with some sort of habitat with other things living there, but I don't know, I'm kind of wary on that too. I have very mixed feelings about that as well. The thought of aliens thing kind of freaks me out, but I I don't know. I don't really believe in it, to be honest.
Gotcha. Anybody who was tuning in, by the way, I apologize. I think I had the mic lowered for Aleeyah and Kasey for something in the last couple minutes, because when I went on break, I had to lower it down. So we've got it back to normal volume now. So for anybody that had any audio issues, if you couldn't hear it 100% clearly. One thing I was going to say, though, in terms of my thoughts on aliens, well, first, let me explain what the public's thoughts are. So, in a poll from Gallup earlier this month, story highlights are that near 2/3, 68% actually, in the United States say that the government knows more than it's saying on UFOs. 1/3 of people think that some UFOs are actual sightings of, quote, alien spacecraft. Others feel it might just be some government ships that have never been tested. And then residents of the West Coast show the highest belief. You know, it's a very interesting issue. I do believe that there are other beings on other planets. I don't think that we are the only living creatures in the entire, universe, in the entire galaxy, in the solar system. What I will say, though, is I don't think that there are necessarily aliens here. I don't know if they have come here. It's a tough one to kind of give an opinion on for me. There's a lot of proof that I feel like might be fake that's out there. A lot of people can fake a lot of stuff with technology nowadays. I would say, though, that I think that there's got to be more that the government does know on stuff like UFOs. There's got to be more stuff that they know on other beings that may have possibly visited, or other stuff on that. I think that overall, I would lean more towards saying that they do exist. I don't think they are here. I don't think that the government is hiding necessarily where they're at or who they are, but I definitely think there is information that the public could know, that the public could easily know, that isn't being told. I think there's a lot more out there. It's a tough one, though, for me, because I don't know you don't know what to believe. I lean more towards believing, though, that it is out there and that there are aliens or there are other creatures in the universe, not just us as human beings on Earth. I'll go ahead and get your guys' response to that when we come back for the final part of the Liberty Hour, Part 7. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.